ladies and gentlemen, and good evening. Thanks for joining me again on Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. It's 4:31 p.m. and you're tuned in to Rhythm 93.7 FM and Silverbird News 24. I keep saying News 24. It comes out sometimes because, now with Silverbird TV. You're tuned into Silverbird TV and Rhythm 93.7 FM. Yes, Deep Waters with Deborah Waters is your number one talk show on radio and TV. It's a simulcast show where we got to talk about deep things, real human stories, real life stories. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we do not agree, sometimes we argue, but basically we shake the waters until they are still. The phone lines are always open to you guys, so you can call in, you share your thoughts. We'll pick a deep topic of the day, we analyze it, we break it down, we hear from you, my listeners and viewers. Then we bring in a coach, somebody with expertise on the topic of the day to help us even understand the topic even deeper. And that is why it's called Deep Waters. Today we're talking about successful women and marriage, or should I say successful single women. Are women without husbands more successful? Question mark. We're talking about successful single women, or should I say successful women in marriage. Are women without husbands more successful? In fact, I saw an article online with somebody saying that categorically that women without husbands are more successful than women with husbands. And I don't know how you're understanding it, but I hope I am passing out the message that I intend to, in terms of communication. Are women without husbands more successful, than married women? Like I said, there was an article specifically saying that, women without husbands are more successful than women who are married, or women who are not married, they are more successful than women who are married. What are your thoughts on it? Do you agree with this particular, saying? If you look around you, are they actually more successful single women than married women? Don't get me wrong, there are married women who are successful, but when you are checking out the level of success in terms of how it has skyrocketed to, maybe some global level, then you can't but ignore some single women in their various fields. And we are asking, does marriage have a way of dimming a woman's shine? Deep, right? I know for men, I don't know if you can say the same thing for men, but usually I feel like in marriage, people will say marriage favors men than women. Do you agree with that? Do you feel like marriage has a way of dimming a woman's shine, a successful woman's shine? Let me know your thoughts right here on Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. You're a successful woman, you're a successful man, you have a spouse, you're divorced, separated, you're single, married, whatever. I feel like you can relate to this. You're even dating, Let me know. Let's talk about this today on Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. Calling today on 0915 534 5627. 0915 534 5627 or 0915 534 5509. 0915 534 5509. Are women without husbands more successful than women with husbands? Let me hear your thoughts on Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. Usually, I was talking to someone backstage just a few minutes ago, and we're talking about our relationships, and I mentioned that there was a time I was dating this person, and this guy is such a mature, well established, he looks like he was secure in himself and all that. And then we're dating, and then I realized that I wanted to work with a certain company, and then I reached out to him that I think somebody in this company, can you help me, connect me so that I can move to the next level of my career? And then he says, don't worry, I'll sort it out. Don't worry, I'll sort it down. 1 month has passed, 2 months passed, 3 months passed. He said he's still talking about it. One day we were having like a heart-to-heart conversation after the relationship was over, but just, spilling the tea. And then he goes, you see that thing, I really wanted to connect you, but I just feel like if I had connected you to that person, I feel like you would just leave me alone. I feel like you will not be with me anymore. I feel like maybe it will take you to the next level and all that. And I thought about that and I was like, wait, should I be angry or happy at this point? Should I be disgusted or should I be appreciated? Because you want me, but you want to keep me to yourself, and then you want me to keep me down there when you can connect me to a bigger place. And this is not somebody I'm married to. listen, I'm not married to you. You understand? So imagine what will happen when you get married, when I get married to you in such situation. Again, I'm not saying that's the reality of things, but I'm just giving you my own personal experiences. If you have your own personal experiences, please do well to call. I think I missed the call just now, so please do well to call back. I'll take your calls right now. Do you have any personal experience as a single, successful woman? Do you think that single, successful women are more successful than married men and married women? Let me hear your thoughts. Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
hello, baby, I can hear you.
Hi, good to have you on the show. Thanks for calling.
You're welcome.
All
Baby, how
right.
are you doing now?
Talk to me.
How are you doing? Is that from on the line? You have forgotten my voice. Is it because I
Oh,
wasn't big?
Afam, Abi. Is it Afam?
Yes, it's not from.
I didn't forget your vibe. I sensed that it was you, but I wasn't hearing clearly, so I didn't want to call your name and then it to be somebody else. So good to have you
Without
on the
okay,
show.
knowing that it is me, right?
I can never forget your voice, Afam.
Hey. Wow. Uh, you know, I've been enjoying this station since morning, but you guys are bomb.
Thank you. Thank
You
you so
know,
much.
the music. Come on. I don't think. I just don't think there is any other station that can be compared to you guys in music aspect. Honestly, I have danced the one I know and the one that I do not know. This morning,
Oh.
after Kayode finishes morning session,
Mm.
it has been
That's
one
been back to
hell of
back.
back to back. The DJ, this guy, foreign, local, everything, even the one who is sabi, the one who not sabi. I know, in fact, it was, God. Anyway,
Thank you for the feedback. We
uh,
appreciate.
that is my best station so far.
Okay, talk to me.
Yeah, let's dive into the
The deep oceans.
matter of the yes, the matter of the day. The question is why married unmarried people or married women are more successful than married ones, right?
Yes.
Is that the question?
Yes, please.
Okay. It's very simple. A married woman has no much responsibility. It's very simple. A married woman, unmarried woman, a single lady, let me use the word, single woman
Mhm.
has no much responsibility. Their responsibility is on themselves, only on them. Maybe if they have siblings, maybe they can just relate a little bit to them. But mainly, it's on them. Whatever they cough out of the year, days, month, or thereabout goes on themselves. So there is no responsibility that they are carrying.
Not really.
Unlike,
You know you're looking at single women from the unmarried one. You know you can be married and divorced and you have become single too. You are also a single woman too. You know,
you
right?
can be married
And
and,
divorced and then you'll become a single woman.
okay, if it is not aspect you are
Mhm.
saying it, that one self day, in the sense that, yes, at that point, a lot of, let me use the word, a lot of them do things that married woman might not do.
Afam don't
A
come
lot
again
of
or like
them,
what?
no, yeah, I know my word is always like a bomb to the ear of the hearers, and you must listen. It's a word of an elder, it's an advice.
Okay. Go on. Elder.
So, people, some of them, I'm not saying generally, I'm just making a point that 75% of them put leg where a married woman who have a husband and children in the house may not be able to put leg.
While I hear you loud and
When
clear, I don't think that's
when
in all
when when
cases. Oh.
when they are divorced, it's just like they are not married anymore. because you don't want to try to caution them or to tell them, please don't do this. It is not good. I don't want it. So
Right.
they are as free as free as a married person. The only thing they do with them is that wherever they want to go, they go. Wherever they want, whatever they want to do, the club they want to go to, they are free. So there is no difference between them and the one that are not yet married, because they have no one to answer to. They have no one to respect to or to caution them if they're not like a married woman who are under his husband or her husband. Then you are you if you want to do something that you may try to seek the consent of your husband before you venture into that thing. Then you look at it critically to know whether it is going to profit you people or not.
Interesting, Afam.
And sometimes the man may say no, don't do it. It may not go well.
So are you saying in
And
essence that marriage has a way of dimming one's shine?
no, marriage has a way of bringing two people to shine, not a single person.
Okay.
If in marriage, if the wife is if the wife is doing well, there are millions of married women that are doing well in their businesses, in their working places.
I don't totally agree.
What?
In most marriages, men are the ones shining. In most marriages, men are the ones that
Listen,
shine.
let me tell you, the thing there is this: responsible women do not take the accolades on themselves. They push it over to their husband.
Okay.
There are so many women today who opens business for their husband, and their husband has been in charge of the business. They are the one funding it. A lot of them are, but their husband is the one running the business. It's just like you now working and earning more than your husband. Then when visitor comes in, how do you want to now show that you are the one who buy drinks in the house?
Isn't not you that said
I
both
mean,
of you should shine? Isn't not you that said for two people to
that's
shine
what
now?
I'm
So
telling
why
you.
are you pushing the shine to one
See,
demand?
let me tell you,
You are
behind
contradicting
every
yourself, sir.
successful man, do you know the word? Behind every successful man, there is a good woman. There is also a successful woman.
There is a woman that gives all the accolades to a man.
No,
If
no,
we are
no.
being realistic,
Behind every
there is a woman
successful
that works
man,
all the work and gives the accolades to the man
there
and
is
say,
a
take
woman here, and that woman is also. Now, what are you saying? If I am successful, my wife is equally successful because she will benefit from my success.
Okay,
If
noted.
she is equally me myself, I am too. So the difference is there is that except you will be the one to begin to differentiate. This is my own money. This is your own money. In the family where there is love, peace, and unity, you might not even know. There are some women who buy properties and hand the document over to their husbands, and the husband will be the one to, be making the arrangement and other things. There are women who buy land, who buy houses.
I hear you, Afam.
So when you're talking about that, when there is love and peace and in marriage, this kind of thing, they don't differentiate them. You cannot say because as a man you are successful, then your woman is not successful. No.
Right.
If I am successful, my wife is successful, is doing well wherever he is. My money is his and the heart is mine.
All right.
This is what marriage is all about. So when you talk about a single one who married and divorced and no longer married or thereabouts, that one is different automatically because what they will do to become successful, a married woman cannot do it.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Afam, for sharing. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, Afam always making sense on the show. This is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. We're talking about single successful women, and we're asking, are women without husbands more successful than the married one? And we're asking why? Why is that? And I hear you loud and clear, Afam. You're saying it from the perspective of the woman and the woman are one. What about men that try to keep women small? Didn't you hear my earlier story of having a man that could connect you to a bigger job, but doesn't want to do that things, if I connect you to this bigger job, you might just, you might not be here anymore. You might do better. You might be exposed to bigger people, or more exposed to people that can change your life, and all that. So, and I'm saying I'm not even married to this person, and they're thinking this way. A lot of times like that, women are in marriages that are with men that they have to say, my husband, give me permission to do this job. And he knows that you want it. He knows that if you do this job, it will move you to the next level, but says no to you, and tries to keep you small. What about situations like that? I hear you loud and clear about situations where you can have a husband and wife, and you people are, your win is my win is your win, and so on and so forth. But can we also say that this thing, when it comes to career and success, this marriage thing, it favors men than women? Let's take another caller. Hello. 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 All right, I have to lose this call. Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. We're talking about successful women and marriage. Are women without husbands more successful than others? I'll give you another example. I'm just giving you my own subtle example. I've never been married before. I can only relate to the level I know. And thankfully, we have married people who are listening. Married people, divorced people who are listening. I'd love for you to actually call in and share your thoughts. I don't want us to talk about theory. I want us to talk about practical. That's why I'm giving you my own personal life example. Let's take another caller. Hello.
Hello, David.
Hi,
It's
welcome
me
back.
after my call back.
Welcome back.
I just heard what you said now.
Yes, please.
You talk about limitation. That is limitation, right?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So see, men, we men sometimes, we do. Let's just call it jealousy. A man can be somehow jealousy and overprotective over his wife, especially when the kind of woman he married or he married is someone that men cannot pass in a public place where men is, and they will not look at. So we see what that normally causes that thing is insecurity, is jealousy. That is what that normally causes that thing. Not that the man will not allow. Haven't you seen a man who married a woman and said, this woman, stay at home, I will be paying you salary, I don't want you to work, I will be giving you all that you want, just stay at home, just be taking care of my kids? Haven't you heard that? Haven't you seen that before?
Mm-hmm.
It happens. So the thing here, in this particular one now, is this. It's not that the man doesn't want the woman to grow. No. He wants the woman to grow. But the problem here now is the insecurity, is jealousy. If he feels that if the woman go out to start working, he will mingle with other men, and before you know it, the devil might do some rough job. Things may get out of hand, and he will no longer, good track his wife anymore. So that is the problem.
So do you support that? Do you support that? And how is she winning?
No.
How is she winning if you're keeping her like that? Because I don't mean to be judgmental, but you sound like somebody who would do that.
No. I can't do that.
Are you sure?
I'm not
it's about protecting now. From your perspective, it's protection. You're protecting her, from your own perspective, yes. Right? Protection. But the protection now is leading to her being limited as a successful woman.
That is what I am telling you. It is for me now. You ask me a question whether if I will do that or is it good or not. I said it is not, because she have to exploit. She have to go out, mingle with people, see people, get her own things done. You see, when this kind of thing happens in a family, it causes a lot of chaos, causes a lot of problems, because a time may come, the woman will feel like she's been caged. She's been, put in the basket, or the man doesn't want her to, go out. So this thing normally causes problems. So I'm saying that it is not good. It is good. Is it not Dora? Is it not somebody's wife? The rest of other women that is out there doing things, traveling, is it not people's wives? So the global that we are in right now is everybody, every hands need to be on deck so that things
Interesting.
will go perfectly well in the family. So I don't
Interesting.
support the idea of a man cheating a woman inside the house. No matter how many millions, billions or trillions you have, allow that we instead open a business for the woman, open a supermarket for the woman, open a very big industry business. Let the woman be doing something of her own. You get me?
Yes.
Instead of putting her in the cage in the house there too. So I don't support that. That's what
Thank
I
you so much, Afam. I
thank you.
appreciate. All right, Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. We are the women in the house. We are the successful women in the house. Everyone is successful in their own way. We are the financially stable women in the house. I want to hear where are the married men? Where are the successful men? What are your thoughts on this? Where are the single ladies? What are your thoughts on this? What's your mindset when it comes to successful women? Do you feel like successful women are more successful when they are without husbands or with husband? If we're being realistic, I know there's a societal um, perspective or societal agreements, or so to say, or it's a universal truth about this thing. But in Deep Waters with Deborah Waters, we don't do universal truth. We do personal truth. We do realistic truth. And that's why I'm encouraging us to talk about this. And let me know your honest, most sincere thoughts. Some people say, if I talk now, if I start to talk, na 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 na, go and my brother, go and come and talk. Call me on 0915 534 5627 or 0915 534 5509. Let's hear your thoughts on this topic. Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. We're talking about successful women and marriage. Are women without husbands more successful than women with husbands? Why are most successful women single, so to say? We're talking about success. We're not talking about we have a business, you're running a business, it's okay. We're talking about that kind of global appeal, that success where you can look at it and not deny that this is a successful woman. Let's hear your thoughts on the topic of the day. Does marriage have a way of dimming one's shine? I've asked this question over and over again. Even though Afam said no, it's for two people to shine, but some of the things he's saying is kind of tilting to one person than the other. Does marriage, people that have been married, does it have a way of dimming your shine when it comes to success, in business and in career? Of course, I dropped this on my social media status, and some of you had interesting things to say. I asked, why are women without husbands more successful? And somebody said, Omotola Jola, they no be woman. That's a big question. Someone said they want to show the man shaggy. Another person says, you meant women who was once with a toxic husband and is now free. I don't think having a husband or not is a yardstick for success though, but being a single woman pays better than being with a husband that is not supportive. Women win, women thrive, women succeed. Have a toxic husband is not a criteria to achieve the above listed. With these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince and not confuse you. I think you actually confused me. It's like you try to be on the fence, but you're not being on the fence, and you're still supporting women at the same time, and then you're saying marriage is not really. God, you tried, Sha. You made sense. You really made sense. Somebody says, can you compare Omotola's success to Funke Akindele's success, for example? No, you can't. I shouldn't compare. They are both doing well. Just don't like the narrative when people come up with it. Well, I mean, it's not all about narrative here. It's about reality. It's about statistics. It's about reality. I know you can mention one, two, few women who are married, and still very successful. Even our famous Alakija, Florentia Alakija, we learned how there was a lot in the news bragging about how she's the richest woman in Africa and still married, only for us to hear that she's divorced, and that she had to allegedly, let her husband out of their how many million naira, this 700 million naira mansion, and so on and so forth. So does that really mean that all is not well, that seem well? Yeah, so let's talk about this topic today. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your varying opinions. Where the married women, deep women in okay, somebody also left a comment. Is check the stories well. Men are actually behind those success stories, because a fellow woman will not patronize another. The question is, why are women without husbands more successful? Check the stories well. Men are actually behind their success stories, because a fellow woman will not patronize another woman. I don't think that is very true, actually. The women who are patronizing other women out there, but the question is how many of them, and then you're saying that at the end of the day, every successful woman has a man. We know that every successful man has a woman in behind. They say behind every successful man is a woman, but behind every successful woman, is it a man? Big question. And you're saying yes, it's a man, but they're not showing it, or it's somebody's man. That's how Hafam said, oh, because she's doing it, they're dipping their hands where they are not dipping. Funke Akindele, for example, have you ever heard about any scandal? Have you ever heard that there was a scandal that she dipped her hands on? You can tell that she's a hardworking, successful woman, and still she's been married once, twice, and still did not work for her. So what is the problem? Are men intimidated by successful women? Maybe that's even the problem. Are men intimidated by successful women? We also even heard Vicky James talking about on an interview recently, saying, oh, her work, how hard it is to connect with men because they feel intimidated by her work and success. These are women that you cannot find scandal related. So when you are mentioning your scandals and you feel that you have done other things to warrant to be successful, also remember the women who have not done anything, who have just put in hard work and dedication to being successful. Let's take this one caller before we go on that break. Hello.
Hello, David.
Welcome, Afam. You mean me today?
I heard you when you said something.
Okay, welcome
I've been
back.
waiting for people to call in, and nobody wants to call in. So let me have my own. My turn be this.
Go on, Saros. Okay.
Yeah. I heard you when you were saying that successful. See, first of all, let us define success. What is the meaning of success? When we talk about this success of a thing, what is the meaning of it? Is it somebody having billions and trillions in his accounts? That is success. Is that what success is all about? I mean, sometimes let's think about it. Or success, does it mean that maybe the lives that person have touched, the people that person have helped in life, the people that person raised up in life, the hands that he has given out to people, is it not what success means? Because I don't get it. When we talk about it, it's as if maybe we are looking at the money aspect of it. Yes, somebody might have money and be boasting. See, if you cannot record that, if you cannot record things that person has done in life, being a man, being a woman, to help people, to assist people, to make people, eat from his hand or shoulder, I don't think that is success. That is selfishness.
All right, Deep Waters with Deborah Waters.
So now, when you talk about women who just who have money that like I have so many messages that you read there. See, men, when a man have money, a man will marry a woman, and that woman will come in. And in that aspect, the money that the man has becomes their money. But when a woman have money and eventually marries a man, that money that she has never becomes their money. I don't know whether you're getting it.
Yes, that makes sense
That
to me.
yeah, that money that she has, or she has become, let's use the word, successful before her husband coming. That money that she has, that business, that things that she has, it can never be recorded as theirs
All
or theirs.
right,
They will
Afam,
always say it is mine.
I have to cut
That
you
is why
there.
they normally say my money is it's my money. Your
Noted.
money.
And your
It's
money
our
is our
money.
money. Noted. All right. Thank you so much. We
So
have to go
that
on a
is it.
short break, Afam. When
All
you can
right,
call
man.
back after the break. Thank you so much. All right. Deep Waters with Deborah Waters is going to short break. When we get back, and a special guest will be in the studio. Stay with us. Successful women, more successful, or women without husbands, are they more successful than women with husbands? And so far, Afam has been on the phone lines back to back, sharing his thoughts, giving us his insights as a man, as a supposed spouse, and more. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the topic. I've dropped the phone lines earlier. If you're watching us on screens, numbers are definitely on your screens. And if you're calling in on radio, the numbers to calling are 0915 534 5627 or 0915 534 5509. I have a special guest with me in the studio, somebody who is dedicated to helping successful single women meet and marry their husbands while flourishing in their identity and leadership. She's an interesting, multifaceted, and multi-influential woman who's invested in using her gifts and ultimately her life in building the legacy system for women, families, and organizations, and even nations via the various expression that is continually made available for her, by her creator. As she says, she's the architect of self, partner, and people discovery system for women, and she is continuing to create communities and systems, books, resources, materials, programs to drive and build a structure for women in their personal relationships and work lives. This is a woman who has developed and created communities, including the One Diva Global Community, a women's non-profit organization with over 1,000 women members. Live talks with Sage Nail, a radio community for listeners of our show, men, women, over 10,000 weekly listeners. So I'm not bringing any small person to you. This is somebody who is vast in the knowledge of single successful women and helping them meet their husbands. Ladies and gentlemen, I have women in the studio, Nkechi Emmanuel Layode, aka Sage Nail. Hello.
Hello, Deborah.
So good to have you in the studio.
I'm happy to.
Oh
be
my
here.
God, I've been wanting to bring you in here even earlier, but the calls were just, and even when myself I was enjoying the conversation, I had something to say. I probably just got carried away and all that. But so good to have a professional right here with me in the studio.
Yes, I'm
So,
happy to be here as well.
very well. So before we went on that break, my one of my caller was saying what is success, as because we've been saying successful women. He carried us, he argued, and finally now ended with what is now this success that people even say this single successful women are more successful than married women and all that. So if you can help us define what success is
I
before we get
definitely
it.
can. I'm so happy that we got there. So success is different for different people, and the thing is, the success metrics that people use to define other people's lives from the outside is not really the same that people use to define their life personally, except you have a personal conversation with them and they tell you the cars, the house, the marriage, or whatever else, the money are their success metrics. Success metrics is personal. And I say it's personal, even though not necessarily private, because we have this assumption of what success means. So first things first. But ultimately, summarily, success is really living out according to your life's design and architecture. So this is how I describe it. We have different structures for buildings. We have the structure for a bungalow, the structure for a skyscraper, the structure for a duplex, for instance. One is not better than the other. they are all serving different purpose. So success is a person living out the structure of their life and the foundation of their life for which they have been built and created for. And there's a process to discovering. So you have to go through the self-discovery process to be able to then verify if you are indeed successful. Are you living out according to your gifts? Are you living out according to your talents? Are you sharpening your gifts, which will then now become gifts, skills rather? What countries? Who are your targets? Who are you serving? Are you serving people who you are supposed to be serving, or are you serving people who people think you should be serving? So I have a whole self-discovery about 21 questions that ask all of these questions to help you really come to the authenticity of what success means. So I like that question because until you are able to maybe take that assessment or any other assessment that is out there, you can't really say, oh, I know I'm successful or I know I'm not successful. I must also add, I was watching an interesting show. Anyways, I don't know let me not name the show yet, but Bovi was on the show and the anchor was telling him something about I had a car. I think we were talking about what they were doing at a certain age, and I was saying something like I had a car, and I know many people did not get that, but I got that because this is what I teach. Bovi stopped him and said, never define success by cars. If you want to define success, properties and other things, but never define it by just cars. I want to believe that it meant to say. So I know success, we see it as the glitz and glamour, but a person can live a life with so much glitz and glamour, and it may not necessarily be an authentic life that they truly desire to live. And we've seen so many examples. Princess Diana was for those who know her, it was an example of a person, literally princess living in a castle, but she wasn't happy with that life. Many times, all of our interview clips, she wanted something different, which she eventually stepped into before she passed on. So we can go on and on and on.
I know it's cool for us to, when we want to be motivational and all that, we have our definitions, or you can define your own success, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I hear you. I can also be that way if I want to be really deep. But can we now talk about success in that concept of when we look at people, that's superficial, because at the end of the day, that success we're talking about, we're mentioning names, we're looking at people doing well in their fields, and while that is, commendable and admirable, like you said, that might not be true success because they also have the right to vet themselves and say, okay, am I successful at
this?
But
do I want this?
Yes, but generally speaking, or should I say superficially speaking, success is what then?
I've actually answered your success question, Deborah.
Why I'm laughing? Don't give me the coach one.
Why I'm laughing is because I saw your status, so I understand what you mean by that. Give me the success. So again, it's still
yeah. You don't worry. Let's move on to the next question.
Yeah, because that's I don't know how
coach, I don't expect you to
honestly.
Do anything else.
I don't want it to look like aspire to anything.
Don't do that. There are some women you see walking here, and you just say this is a successful woman by what she looks
good.
like. What
so
she
let's
wears,
go there.
How she's living her life.
Yes,
the same applies
what
to a man
she can
too.
give, and and it may not even be material. It may just be maybe if she has opportunities, if she can give opportunity. There's so many. So we would then have to bring the Deborah Waters deep water success metric lists and then work with that.
Okay, now we're going to work with this definition. Thinking about
that's what we'll do. According to the Oxford Dictionary. According to this dictionary. So according to the Deborah Waters show, let us now define success.
Yoruba will say, Ohami Mokona. That you catch me for corner. This one.
And it was so intentional.
You catch me for corner on this one.
Oh yeah, let's bring the one for Deborah Waters show.
We know what success in code looks like. Let's just say financially stable. Somebody who's doing well financially, and you can look at them and just say, "Oh, this is a successful man. This is a successful." Woman.
Generally, yes.
Generally, you might be wrong, but that's what we look at. And then we are asking now the question of the day: do you think women who are, without husbands, are more likely to succeed than women with husbands, or would you say they are more successful than women with husbands in terms of statistics, in terms of reality?
So I wouldn't say so, just to put it out plainly. It really depends on what each woman wants. That's where I will start from. And one is not more successful than the other. And this is as a result of the work that I do. So I'm not just putting out theory out there. There are successful women who maybe are not ready to get married, or they are still on the journey to meeting their husband, like I put it, and they haven't just really met their match in that sense. I was watching one of your previous podcasts, and I like that speaker was saying a bird cannot get married to a fish. It is true. So there are people on the journey to their destiny, and they haven't just met their match. And there are people who on the journey to their destiny, they've met their match.
They have not met their match, or men are intimidated by women who are successful.
That is another conversation entirely. So some men are intimidated by women who are successful.
Most
but
men?
No, it's not most men. I'm
Because
very
these
sure
men
about
look
this,
like they
Deborah.
are
I'm
secure.
very sure.
You look like they're secure until you get in
Until
there.
you are in, of course, everything is kicked up and nice. So what I do think that, or what I know, what I have found out is that for some women, now this is not all, for some women that are successful, they use the wrong matrix to choose the kind of men that they get into their lives, and that's why they get maybe a chameleon, somebody who says he's this way and he's not that way. Why? Just as a result of using the wrong matrix. So for instance, just like you say, using Deborah Walters' success matrix for this show today, she has money, or he has money, he has properties, he has this, he has that. So the woman is thinking, well, what else am I going to bring that is going to be intimidated by? Whereas you find out when you go closer, you see that man is using that as a front to cover his insecurity, because he hasn't truly even found himself. So the matrix is what is wrong. Whereas I'm a family life therapist, so their matrix we then now share that you should look at, that you should pay attention to beyond those things. Those things are nice. Nobody wants to be in a one room fanning themselves. Nobody is saying that. But those things are nice when you have those money and everything. But as long as the tangible things are there, value, character, integrity. I created a YouTube video where I put, I think, about 10 things, green flags rather, to look out for, that would help you to determine if this person is the right person, regardless of what they have, what they don't have, or how they are perceived.
Okay, now, coach aside. Yeah, let's drop the coach.
Let's go.
Personally,
Let's
now. Do you think that marriage has the potential to dim or shine
Yes, it does.
as
That's
a
the truth.
successful woman?
Oh,
or
yes.
even man?
Yes.
And
Even
why?
Well, because the marriage union is a coming together of two are coming together to become one. So naturally, it's not even supposed to be some sort of debate. There's supposed to be unison, and there's supposed to be that marriage and matching of their destinies, their gifts. It doesn't mean they're going to be working in the same career. I hope that people understand. But I mean, there's going to be unity towards the same direction in terms of what their family vision, values are, destination, etc. Now, if a man thinks that a woman is going too fast for his pace because he hasn't built the capacity to be able to carry that woman, it will dim her lights. There's nothing we're going to do about it. Another thing I want to just quickly put out to men, that you are, being greater than your wife or being a great man is not a matter of, oh, they know you more. Because when you look at the word, I don't want to really get into that, but this husband man is more about the foundation. It's speaking to more this head of the home thing we're always talking about. It's more about the man being the foundation. So are you a foundational man? Can you carry? The foundation for a skyscraper is going to be different from the foundation for a bungalow. So are you that kind of man? So that's the kind of capacity. And don't forget, foundations sometimes are not even seen. And that's why we have examples of men with, I don't know if I can call the example, like maybe Ibuku and Woshika. And so I saw somebody on your story saying them Omotola Jade, and so on and so forth, who their husbands are out there, but I'm saying are not as popular as the wife. But things are moving, because at least we assume, because we are not there, that there's that foundational capacity that the man has built beyond the woman's fame.
So in situations where, it feels like maybe the man is limiting the woman, in such a way, or, doesn't want to expose her to opportunities because he feels like she might outshine him. Is it that is it insecurity? Because I know you mentioned that before. Is it insecurity? or it's just because I feel like every human is bound to be insecure at some point, especially
Yeah,
when
correct.
it comes to somebody that they care about or love. So what is that, and how can that be managed?
That's a very, I like the fact that you're even fair, because insecurity, men have suffered with it. It's not just a men thing. Even women can be insecure. But when we talk about this situation of a woman going faster than the man, it could also be they haven't cemented their trusts. And the insecurity part, it may have a lot to do with the man, not the woman. What do I mean? It may have a lot to do with the man not being solidified enough in what he believes his dreams are. The truth is, if a woman like Deborah just say, go, 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 I'm going for this, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and the man is still struggling to find out, why am I here? Who am I? What am I? That person, it's not, the insecurity is not coming from Deborah. It's even himself, in the fact that he hasn't found himself. So for some people, it's not even the woman. It's the fact that they are still struggling with that. And that's why it's usually a good place to get started. So that even if you don't have much, if you approach rather a lady, you are very attractive. So yes, insecurity, a lot to do with solidifying your identity. And then trust. For some people, it's trust. Though I deal with therapy issues, trust. They've not solidified. They think, oh, I trust your child, but they don't, as a result of how they saw maybe their mom treat their dad, or their dad treat their mom, or one thing or the other that they've experienced. They just import it into the relationship and start giving out the vibe and believing that that's what it will be for them.
Interesting. And speaking of marriage, is it possible for a woman to be married and still live out her biggest dreams? Because it always feels like you have to take permission from the man.
Yes,
Because there was a post I saw from this lady. She's the wife of an actor. I've forgotten her name. And then she was writing about how she has to take permission from her man to fly. That she didn't want to feel like she's shining the man or something, because she feels like she was capable of that. But she had to seek permission from him that, please, can I shine? Can I fly? Are you okay with it for me to fly and shine? And I feel like low key, a lot of women are always looking for that validation from men. They want to shine, but they don't want to outshine the man. Men will be like, say, men no go,
I'm the only one here.
yes, a lot of women do a lot of things, and they have to package it and give it to the man and say, okay, it's you that did
This
it.
is how
Take the glory.
yeah, so
And
correct.
all of that. So in the midst of all that, is it really possible for a woman to be married, be under the guidance and leadership of a man, and still live out her fullest potential?
Yes, Deborah, the thing is, it's a very tough question, so I'm not just going to throw out answers here as if, oh, well, yeah, it's just there out there. The answer is yes. The first answer to that is yes. And the next answer to that is the reason why we haven't seen it happen as much I have so many examples that I'm thinking of now. These men have not been trained. So the new breed of boys, guys, teenagers, we are hoping that they are building that capacity. This curriculum for, women have not risen the way the women are rising in this day and age. So there are a lot of men still with outdated
But notice
curriculum.
there are also a lot of divorces.
Yes, that's also part of the issue. The fact that the curriculum is still outdated and people are trying to use the old curriculum to run the new. So these are part of the issues. There's that friction. So the solution to it, just the summary, the solution to it is we need to update the curriculum of the expectations of men versus women in marriage. Mommy is sweeping the floor. All these social study things need to be updated. We are not there anymore. There's no mommy sweeping the floor. That is because now mommy and dad, they are working. So we need to know, so what are the gender roles? What are we discussing? And then we now have to face the question, what is marriage? How did God create marriage? What is marriage? And how are we willing to live up to that? We have to start having that conversation beyond just I love you, I love you. I love you, I love you could maybe carry our parents, grandparents, but it's not really going further than that because that curriculum is outdated.
And what is the one thing you think we need to unlearn when it comes to these things? As husbands, as wives, I know you said the curriculum is not the same, but what's the one thing you think we need to unlearn,
Okay, just generally, both parties.
Yes, even as a single person looking forward to, getting married and still saying I want to succeed in my career as a woman, but what about the man? Thinking about all that friction.
I would say you should relearn, unlearn, learn or relearn and unlearn the concept of selflessness. It's important that it's studied in a way that is understood in your own marriage, in your own relationship, if you are dating towards marriage. Because many times, many people are just copying and pasting other people's lives without really understanding their own sacrifices. So I would say the concept of selflessness and sacrifice, those are concepts that really need to, after you finish with this show, just really go and learn, what does it even mean to me? Then you sit down and dissect it. What does it mean to us? Because it's going to be different for different marriages and relationships.
Interesting. I feel like we're trying to pack like a like a series, a 12 episode series into 1
Just
hour.
to run, yes,
Literally
just,
to 30 minutes. I feel like we need to have a part 2 of this particular episode because I feel like there's a lot to pack.
Yes, there's a lot, but we're just trying to.
Yeah,
to
we're
run.
trying to squeeze it in. And all.
Yes, exactly.
This is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. I guess I would have just squeeze in this one call since they've not told me to stop the show yet. I'll squeeze in this one call before we go. Hello.
Hello, Debbie.
Oh, Afam, you're back again. Welcome. Oh.
Yes.
Hope you keep it short because we have to wrap up the show now.
Sometimes in this kind of show, you try and invite a man too.
Okay.
Let it be a man and a woman there so that they can be able
We're
to
working on that.
Because the way the world is going now, the way the things are moving, you see, it will come to a point whereby there won't be any marriage anymore.
Definitely.
Like
So do you feel like the show was a one-sided? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Because we're both women?
If I'm going biblically, you said the woman said something that she normally take.
But you are also talking, Afam. You are the man's perspective here.
No. See, progress is something that runs in both DNA of a man and a woman. It is not a man's thing. It's things, both of them are. I told you this thing before. You people are the one differentiating the whole situation. If a man is doing well in his marriage, both of them, this is the way it's supposed to be.
Have you not heard of situations where a woman walked out of a marriage because she feels like she's not living her fullest potential? Like I said there are some men that also keep women small. So I like that you are saying we are trying to differentiate. We're not trying to differentiate. We're just trying to look at the different angles that might come out of the situation. Not all marriages are the same.
The way you said it is okay. There are men who do that, and there are women who walk out of their marriage not because they are contented with what is going on in their marriage, or just because they are too greedy. They want more.
They want more, and that's okay.
They want more.
It's okay to want more.
What they want will destroy the family. This is it. You guys are not hitting the. See, there are things that you cannot have. There are things that you cannot do at that moment where you are. But just because you're greedy,
because you're married,
because you want to acquire it, then you now go extra mile for it and destroy your home.
All right, you can comment on that.
Okay, well,
all right, thank you, Afam. I guess to confirm on that.
We don't even have so much time, but what I just want to say to Afam, I understand your pain. I feel what you're feeling, but I think it's back to the core values. There are cases that I've treated and cases that I continue to treat where men know the core values of women. They know that they love baby girl life or whatever. They will still pursue those women. Is the ones that want those kind of life you still pursue. Then you say the girl wants something bigger and you are angry. So at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you are pursuing your value as well as.
It can change her.
Yes, I've seen those situations and it's rather sad. Then you start saying, why do
you want more?
Yes, why? So you want to also make sure that you don't lie to yourself, and if you want to make sure you're with a person that if it's lack of contentment that is the problem, you get somebody who is content from the very beginning. But that all boils down to the value system. It's what I said, matrix. What are your matrix for choosing in marriage?
Even at that, even if you marry somebody who is all that content, people also change. People
grow. Evolve. And that's why both parties should even evolve. Well, since I didn't really get the first gist. I'm not saying I'm hearing what I'm saying, the first part of I'm not really sure the trajectory, but I just wanted to respond to this particular
But he
one.
made
Well,
sense. I like what he was saying
yeah,
because that's
that
the
issue.
truth.
There are times where women as well want to come out of a marriage as a result of maybe lack of contentment. I think we should just, in summary, let's just do well with getting to know each other more before we get married, because the stress and divorce, Deborah, is too much.
It is crazy.
I can't even, it's too much. So all the premarital many things now is not a waste of time. It is a lifesaver.
Interesting. How can people find you on social media, be a part of your community courses and the rest of it?
All right, you can find me on social media at sage_nel. That is SAGE_NEL. Twitter, Threads, Instagram, everywhere in between. But more importantly, if you want to really pay attention to this topic that Deborah has invited me to speak on, you can find me on YouTube, Sage Nel TV. SAGENEL TV on YouTube, and you find videos where I talk more about it.
Interesting.
Thank you.
This has been Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. Thank you so much for calling in to be a part of the show, Afam. I really appreciate your input on the show. It's really very insightful. I appreciate. You can join Deep Waters on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. on Mondays, 5 to 6 p.m. on Wednesdays and Fridays. And please do also follow at Deep Waters_podcast on Instagram and Facebook to be a part of the Deep Waters community, to be in tune with our shows, our guests, our clips, and you can also watch a repeat of this episode later on today or tomorrow at 11:30 p.m. on Silverbird TV, and of course on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for listening. This has been, I actually crossed, I'm supposed to finish at 5:30, but I don't know how I manage, I'm still here. Thank you so
Success
much.
according to Deborah.